I am vengeance. I am justice. I am Mark Spector. I am Stephen Grant. I am Jake Lockley. I am hoping that my meds kick in so I am only one person at a time.
Moon Knight, aka Mark Spector, aka Stephen Grant, aka Jake Lockley, aka all-around crazy awesome badass. Moon Knight first appeared in the comic book Werewolf by Night, and like most ensemble dark horses, he would go on to become much more popular than the character whose comic book he appeared in. Mark Spector was a mercenary who, on a mission to Egypt, discovered a statue of Khonshu and was betrayed and killed in that encounter. Now, for those of you who know, Khonshu is the god of the moon in Egyptian mythology, and he came to Mark in his death state, or near-death state as it would later be retconned, and offered him to be his new avatar in exchange for his life. He accepted, and thus Moon Knight was born. In order to become Moon Knight, Mark hatched out several plans, the first of which was to create a few aliases. One was, of course, his regular identity, Mark Spector, mercenary for hire. The second one was Stephen Grant, just to highlight the similarities with Batman in case you weren't getting them, who was a playboy rich guy. And finally, he had taxi driver Jake Lockley, a down-to-earth, ear-to-the-ground taxi driver, allowing him to keep track on all sorts of crime. There was also that one time when his three personalities were that of Spiderman, Wolverine, and Captain America, but we don't talk about that. The character has always sort of oscillated between a maybe magic, maybe mundane sort of situation, as the idea of whether or not Mark is actually an avatar of Khonshu or whether or not he's just imagining it all is brought up into question several times overall during this character's existence. Even though now it's more or less been accepted that Khonshu is actually real and has been driving Mark, there are some questions as to the fact that no, Mark is in fact not quite sane. And the question now is more whether or not Mark was driven insane by Khonshu or he was always like this and Khonshu just took advantage of him.
Yes, Master. As your lunar avatar, it is my solemn duty to defend this city and subdue the villain.
Again, for those of you who are a little well-versed in Egyptian mythology, will also know that Khonshu sort of oscillates between being a protector and being a bloodthirsty deity. And this is definitely reflected in Moon Knight as well. Despite being one of the more bloodthirsty heroes of the Marvel Universe, MK's got a decentish reputation. He even served twice on the Avengers, though never on the main team. Once was on Hawkeye's West Coast Avengers, and his second stint was on Cap's Secret Avengers. Of course, currently he's busy fighting the Avengers in their own title, so his standing might change a little. Yeah, it's obviously some sort of scheme because he's doing it on Khonshu's orders and to stop the world from a greater evil, but let's see how this plays out. Also, quick sidebar, Thor really needs to stop losing his hammer. Despite it all, Mark does try his best to be a hero, even though he's often waylaid by Khonshu or other external forces or his own mental psychosis. But despite it all, his heart's in the right place, and he does try his best to be a great hero. And that's why he's one of my favorite Marvel characters, despite the fact that I couldn't find a single comic in my collection that showed him prominently. Yeah, figure that. Also, this scene is still really, really funny.
Yes, Master. As your lunar avatar, it is my solemn duty to defend this city and subdue the villain.
Yup, that's Dietrich Bader, the Batman from The Brave and the Bold. Well, that about wraps up this video, and see you all next week.